Well, shalom, shalom, everyone. This is yours truly, Dee Dee Cooper, coming to you again from Pain to Passion, Purpose, and Power. I hope that all of you are enjoying this wonderful Sabbath day. So, in essence, I greet you with Shabbat Shalom. This is the Sabbath day. This is the day that the Most High has set apart for us to worship Him and to give Him praise. This is also the day that He has made for us to rejoice and be glad in. And I pray and I trust that all of you are rejoicing and yet still giving Yahweh praise for this wonderful, wonderful day that He has made. From the looks of the weather, we're in the Midwest here, and when you're in the Midwest, the weather is up and down, but it looks like spring is trying to peek its head out. And so I praise the Most High for that. We're expecting some wonderful weather in the week coming. But besides the weather, I pray that you are expecting something so miraculous and powerful in all of your lives. If you're expecting and anticipating something great for the Most High, from the Most High, just start giving Him praise right now. He alone is worthy of all of the honor and glory. So again, welcome to From Pain to Passion, Purpose, and Power with yours truly, Dee Dee Cooper. Also, I'd like to take the opportunity to welcome those of you who have not yet subscribed to this channel to go ahead and do so. And once you subscribe to the channel, hit that notifications bell so that you will be notified each time a new video is uploaded. And I endeavor to upload new content each Sabbath day as an extension of the worship of the Most High. Also, take the opportunity to hit that thumbs up button. Like the videos, share the videos, and this ensures that we are in a great place within the YouTube algorithm so that we are easily found. So please take the opportunity to give this video the thumbs up, like the videos, share the videos on your respective social media platforms, and also comment. I read the comments and I always comment back to those who are so sweetly just giving me all types of comments. I praise the Most High for you and I thank you for your support. Also, join us on our interactive Facebook page under the same name, From Pain to Passion, Purpose, and Power with yours truly. We are on Instagram. You can post on Instagram. There are always posts there. And I'm also on Twitter. There's some upcoming things that are forthcoming that I'm so excited about. There's new music that will be released at some point in the near future. I'm working on a podcast as well as looking at and searching at blog platforms, and there are other projects that are in the works as well. The Most High is always in motion, so we have to move with Him. He's always moving. So, as I state in each video, we are on a journey called life. All of us are. No one is excluded. If you have breath in your body, you are on a journey called life. And it does not matter how many years you've been on the earth, you are on a journey nonetheless. All of us are. All of us, the Most High has created with a specific purpose in mind. There are no such things as you being a mistake. The Most High knew that you would be here. And because you are here, there's wealth in you. There's purpose in you. There's plan in you. The Most High says that His thoughts towards us, they are of good. They're not of evil, and they are to bring us to an expected end. So the Most High, when He created us, He foreknew us before the foundations of the earth. And when He formed us and when He brought us forth, we came forth with purpose. He has a plan for you. He has a plan for you. All of us has a Yah-given purpose. And so He places us on this course, this pathway called life. And then He establishes our going. So He sees everything. Yahweh knows everything. He is everywhere at the same time. He's omnipresent. He is omniscient, which means that he knows everything. He has all wisdom. He's omnipotent, which means that he has all power. He is power. The word of Yah refers to him as the Almighty One. He is power. So nothing takes the Most High by surprise. As I state all the time, Isaiah 46:10, the word of Yah says that Yahweh saw the end from the beginning. So when you were brought forth into this earth, Yahweh has already numbered your days, your steps, everything about you. He knows. He gave you your personality, those unique qualities that makes you, you, the Most High. Put them there according to the purpose that he has for your life. He's equipped you to carry out his plan for your life. And that's good news. So no matter what it is that you may have encountered, or if you're yet encountering something that may be painful or unpleasant, please know, beloved, that the Most High is mindful of you. He knows you. The psalmist wrote and says that he knows our frame. There isn't anything about us that he does not know. He knows and has counted the very hairs on your head. He knows. The word of Yah says that he captures all of your tears. He sees your heart. He knows what you're going to think, your thoughts, even from afar off. The Most High is mindful of it. And that is such good news. And that is so comforting to know that you are not alone, that the Most High is with you. He's right there with you. So now in the word of Yah, in Hebrews, the 12th chapter, verses 1-3, we are admonished, the writer says, to lay aside every weight and the sin that doth so easily beset us or trap us or entangle us. And then we're to run this race with patience. It's a patient walk. Yahweh doesn't give us everything all at once. There's some experiences that you must experience. He forms us. I mentioned last week how we're on the potter's wheel and he's making us. See, when you buy that beautiful piece of ceramic, it started out as a lump of clay. Not that attractive to look at, just a lump of clay. But the sculptor or the artist took that lump of clay and began to knead it and mold it into the shape that he or she desired it to be in. And even when the shape was there, had to smooth out all those rough edges. So he puts you on the wheel and continues to form you and to make you into this beautiful creation. But he doesn't stop there. Then he opens up the kiln, that oven that is hot, and he places that vessel in the fire so that when it's removed from the fire, it's desirable. You can use it. It's shiny. It's no longer that lump of clay. It's something that could be used and presented to the world. And this is the process that the Most High uses to form and to fashion us so that we can fulfill his purpose with power and with passion. That's such good news. And isn't it something that once you take that final beautiful vase or whatever it is that was in that fiery furnace, he begins to put the final etchings on it and paints it and makes it beautiful. And sometimes it has to go back into the fire for that final finish so that when you're presented, you're ready to be used. Same process. The writer in the scriptures talk about how we're on the potter's wheel and how he takes that piece of clay and sometimes he has to smash it again and rework us so that we can be usable when he presents us to walk out his purpose. And that's good news, good news. So by the Spirit, or by the Ruach HaKodesh, the Most High, has been identifying some of the things that could hinder you in your progression, in that progression from that place of pain to develop that passion for the Most High, passion for life, so that you can then walk out that Yah-given purpose endowed with his power. So he's been identifying things in us that hinder or sometimes can altogether stop us on our journey. Some of them being self-esteem issues, not walking in love, unforgiveness. We tackled the big three: fear, doubt, and unbelief. And then there's more. And as you continue to seek Yah, the Ruach HaKodesh will begin to reveal even more things that slow you up from accomplishing and walking out your purpose. Now, last week, in the week before last, I started a series about our speech entitled Watch Your Mouth. We have to be very intentional about the words that we speak, because our words are seed. And when you speak words, that seed goes forth and it will manifest what you say. Hebrews, the 11th chapter, the 3rd verse, it talks about how Yahweh spoke the word and the worlds were framed by the words of the Most High. He said, let there be, and what he spoke came into fruition. Isaiah talks about having the tongue of the learned, learning how to speak a word in season, having the ear of the learned. And that's a prayer that you really should pray, that the Most High will give you the tongue of the learned, that you will learn how to speak and utter words that are ordained by Yah. The word tells us that our words are to be seasoned with grace. Words are seed. The word of Yah says that death and life are in the power of the tongue. You can either speak death to a situation, or you can speak words of life that will bring forth fruit, that will bring forth life to that situation. And that's in Proverbs 6:2. Thou art snared, the Bible says, with the words of your mouth. Your words, the words that you speak, can actually set a trap for you. You trap yourself and ensnare yourself by the words that you speak. The words are seed. Have you ever known someone, growing up as children, you're not going to be anything. You're not going to do this. You can't do this. You'll never accomplish anything. And oftentimes that person will grow up walking out those words. Why? Because words are seed. Words are seed, and they will produce. In the Amplified, Proverbs 6:2, it says, you have been snared with the words of your lips. You snare yourself. You lay a trap for yourself by the words that you speak. And it says you have been trapped by the speech of your mouth. When you look in the mirror, what do you tell yourself? Do you speak words of defeat? Have you ever noticed that when you speak negative words, how those words enter into your spirit and it makes you feel horrible? I shared the analogy of my job. My job is a very physical job, and I would go in there, man, I'll be glad when this day is over. I can't stand this job. Oh, this is horrible. How long, Yahweh? I sounded like Habakkuk. How long, Yahweh, do I have to do this? Oh, my goodness. And the Most High had to rebuke me. He says, you better watch what comes out of your mouth. You can have what you say. So then what happened? Got up, got dressed, walked in there. My confession changed. I said, I'm the queen of this job. I own this job. Nobody is better than me at this. I got this. I can do all things through Yeshua, which strengtheneth me. And then all of a sudden, I began to hum and sing songs of praise. So I work in a station and it's loud so no one can hear you. So I began to speak words of faith and positivity and began to sing the praises of the Most High. And you know what happened as a result of that? My whole mindset changed. My numbers went up. All because of words. Watch your mouth. Watch what comes out of your mouth. It's vitally important to watch the words that you speak, because as I said, they're seed, and whatever you say will manifest. The word of Yah tells us that out of the abundance of the heart, and we know that heart and mind, out of the abundance of your mind, your mouth is going to speak whatever is overflowing out of your mind, the overflow of the thoughts that you think. Your mouth is going to utter words according to what is in your mind. That is why we have to have our mind renewed by the word of Yah, so that we can change that stinking thinking. And once we align our thoughts with the word of Yah, our speech will change. Then you'll begin to speak out of the abundance of a good heart. Matthew chapter 12, the analogy of the parable that Yeshua gave his disciples. He says, a good man, out of the abundance of the good treasure that is in his heart, his mouth speak. He'll bring forth good fruit. But an evil man, out of the evil abundance of his heart or mind, is going to speak evil. He'll bring forth evil fruit. We don't want to bring forth evil fruit. We want to bring forth the best fruit. So it's very important that we're intentional about the words that we speak. If there is an abundance of faith in your heart, if the word of Yah is planted in your mind, and you have an overflow of the word of Yah in your mind, then those are the words that you're going to speak. But then it goes in the opposite direction as well. If you have an abundance of fear, doubt, unbelief in your mind in abundance, that is what your mouth is going to speak, and that is the harvest that you're going to reap. Be not deceived, beloved. Galatians 6. Yahweh is not mocked. Whatsoever a man soweth, or whatever he plants, that's the harvest that he's going to reap. So watch what you say. The more faith that you speak, you'll manifest what you say. What does Hebrews 11:1 says? It says, now faith is always current. Now faith is the substance of things that are hoped for. That substance, that hope, gives us tenacity. It is the substance of things that is hoped for, but it is also the evidence of things not seen. Faith always produces evidence. You mark yourself by what comes out of your mouth. If you're speaking words of faith, then that word of faith will produce for you. Well, Dee, I don't see the manifestation yet. Keep speaking words of faith. Keep speaking. Yahweh's word is alive. And I use the scripture over in 103rd Psalms, how ministering angels hearken to the voice of Yahweh's word. They recognize Yah's word. So if you're going to use your voice for anything, use it to declare and decree the word of Yah, so that those heirs, those ministering angels that are heirs, that minister for the heirs of salvation, will go forth and bring forth what you are declaring and decreeing. Angels are released and they go forth and they minister on the behalf of the heirs of salvation. Are you an heir of salvation? Speak words of faith. Speak speak words of faith if you want the harvest that the Most High has for you. Now, I've been encouraging you to speak positive words. I said that my apostle a while back did a series of teachings entitled The Power of a Positive Confession. And she writes confessions. There's a confession that she wrote for us that for every area of our lives. And when you begin to speak that word, you might not see the manifestation right away, but keep speaking that word. Keep watering that seed of faith with the word of Yah, and you will see the manifestation of that which the Most High has for you. When you speak the word, you speak Yah's will. Now, there is also another mode of speech that needs to be discussed here. We talked about speaking words of faith, speaking the positive confession. But there's also another mode of speech that needs to be addressed here. This type of speech will stop you dead in your tracks. This type of speech is like a 1-2 knockout punch. It's a 2-piece combination meal. This mode of speech. This type of speech, beloved, invokes the wrath of Yah. We talked about the blessings of Yah. So if we talk about the blessings of the Most High, we have to address the other end of the spectrum as well. Because the Most High is an Elohim of balance. There has to be balance in our lives. There are blessings if you speak words of faith, but if you do not speak words of faith and you're at the other end of the spectrum, you're going to reap that harvest as well. This 1-2 knockout punch that I'm talking about, this mode of communication and speech that I'm talking about, is murmuring and complaining. Let me say that again. Murmuring and complaining will invoke the wrath of the Most High. Now, throughout the scriptures, the Most High speaks about sound. He talks about the sound of the trumpets. And when the trumpets sound, talks about the sound of his voice and how the mountains bow down at the sound of his voice. He talks about over in Exodus, the 3rd chapter, how the Most High heard the sighs, which is a sound of his people, Yasharel, Israel. The word of Yah talks about how the ears of the Most High are open unto the cries of the righteous. So he's very, very in tune with sound. Just as speaking words of faith has a triumphant sound, murmuring and complaining also has a sound that the Most High abhors. What does it mean to murmur? This will more than likely be a part 1 and a part 2. What does it mean to murmur? To murmur, it means to make a low, faint sound. A low sound. Oftentimes, I'm a psalmist and I love music. If you listen to certain types of music, you have your major chords, then you have your minor chords. And oftentimes, not saying all the times, but oftentimes, praise songs are sang in major keys, major chords. Why? Because they're uplifting. Sorrowful songs are oftentimes sang in minor keys. So sound is important. So to murmur, it means to make a low, faint sound. It means to say in a voice that's too quiet to be heard clearly. Murmur. It means to complain in low tones. It means to criticize. So when you murmur, you're criticizing the Most High. It means to grumble about the actions of others. You're actually grumbling about what Yahweh is or is not doing. Again, it reminds me of the prophet Habakkuk when he begins to say, "Oh Yahweh, don't you see the injustices that is done to your people? How long, Yahweh? How long?" And then the Most High answered him. It reminds me of when I was growing up as a child, and I speak about my mom a lot because I really honor her. I love my mom. She's an awesome woman of Yah. And I was the queen of the mumble. And she would give a directive, and if I didn't agree with it, I was not bold enough to tell her to her face now. I had sense, that much sense. But I would turn away. I don't know why I have to. And she would say, "What did you say? Nothing?" That's what murmuring sounds like in the ears of the Most High. "Oh, I have to go through this. It's not fair. Why me? Yahweh is not right. I don't know why I have to endure all of this." As if the Most High doesn't have an outcome for you. You're criticizing. You're becoming critical of the Most High. You're mumbling in the face of Yah. You're grumbling in the face of the Almighty One. The one who formed you and made you in his image and likeness, and his breath he breathed into you, and it's by him that you live and move and have your very being. And you're mumbling and complaining. "I don't know why me? Nobody knows the trouble I see." Mumbling against the Most High about the actions that he's taking to make you a vessel of honor. Isn't that something? Dictionary.com says to murmur, it means to mutter. It means to make sounds that are not fully intelligible. It's not an intelligent thing to murmur and complain. To mutter, that's not an intelligent thing to do. No. That's not boldness. That's not confidence. Think you are. Oftentimes I would call myself murmuring, and I had a couple of hair yanking situations to bring me back into alignment. Yahweh is displeased with the sound of murmuring. He says, "Let everything that hath breath praise ye Yah. Make a joyful noise unto Yahuwah, O ye lands. Come before his presence with singing and with praise and thanksgiving." Now, I don't like this Yahweh. How long, right? It means to utter sounds or words in a low, almost inaudible tone. A low, almost inaudible. It's so low until sometimes you can't hear it. But guess what? The word of Yah says that Yahweh knows our thoughts. He knows our thoughts even from afar off. He knows our frame. He knows what you're thinking. You may not utter it out loud, but in your mind, you're complaining and murmuring. And some has gotten so good that they can have a smile on their face and yet mutter and complain against the Most High. The word of Yah says in Psalms, the 34th Psalm, in verse 1, he says, I will bless Yahweh at all times, and his praise shall continually be in my mouth. Now, if the praises of the Most High are continually in your mouth, then you don't have any room for murmuring and complaining. Praise is an act of your will. The psalmist says, I will, Baruch. I will bless Yahweh at all times. It's an act of my will. This is what I will do. I've made a decision. And just as you make a decision to praise Yah, murmuring and complaining is also a decision. What does it mean to complain? It means to express dissatisfaction or annoyance about something. When you complain, you're telling Yahweh, I'm annoyed at you. I'm annoyed at this situation. I'm not satisfied with this. I'm annoyed. It means to grumble. It means to protest. When you complain, you are protesting against the Most High. Your words are formed against the Most High. You're protesting against Him. It means to moan. It means to express grief, pain, or discontentment. It means, and listen to this, it means to make a formal accusation or charge against something or someone. So when you complain, you are bringing a formal accusation against the Most High. You're accusing Him of not being Yah. When you complain, you are telling the Most High, you're not big enough to deliver me out of this. You don't have the wisdom to help me. You're not almighty, Yahweh. You're weak. You have me in this situation. Don't you see me? What are you going to do about it? How long are you going to leave me here? You're not faithful to me, Yahuwah. It means to bring a formal accusation against. It means to find fault or to have resentment against. So when you complain, you're actually telling Yah, you're telling the Most High that I find fault in you. You're accusing the Most High of being a liar. You have resentment in your heart against the Most High. Now are you understanding why murmuring and complaining is an affront to the Most High? You see how ugly that is? What does the word say about this in Philippians chapter 2, verses 14 through 16? And I'll just read verse 14. The Apostle Paul wrote, he says, do all things without murmurings and disputings, or do all things without murmurings and complaining, that ye may be blameless and harmless, the sons of the Most High, without rebuke, in the midst of a crooked and perverse nation, among whom ye shine as lights in the world, holding forth the word of life, that I may rejoice in the day of Yeshua, or in the day of the Mashiach Christ. Do all things without murmuring and complaining, that you'll be found blameless before Yahweh. Murmuring and complaining, beloved, is dangerous. It does not glorify the Most High. When you murmur and complain, you are actually accusing the Most High. The word of Yah talks about how Satan is the accuser of the brethren. He accuses the brethren. Well, when you murmur and complain, you are actually accusing the Most High. You're bringing an accusation against the Most High. Murmuring and complaining, they are not words of faith. This language is steeped in fear, doubt, and unbelief. When you're murmuring and complaining, you're full of fear and doubt. That is the overflow. Those are the words that are coming forth out of the overflow of your heart, of your mind. They're spoken out of fear and unbelief. And the more you speak those murmurings and complainings, it will lead you into unbelief. Isn't that something? Isn't that something? Murmuring and complaining. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to stop right here because I have a lot of information to share with you. So I'm going to stop right here. This is the introduction to murmuring and complaining in the series, Watch Your Mouth. And then next week, Yahweh's willing, I'm going to take you more into the scriptures, and I'm going to show you how does the Most High respond to murmuring and complaining. This is very, very important that you align your speech with the word of Yah. Well, I don't know any scriptures. I always tell you, Google some scriptures on doubt. What does this Bible say about fear? And speak those words. Flood your mind with the word of Yah. Arm yourself with the word of Yahweh. My apostle teacher, she says the battlefield starts in your mind. That's where the battlefield is. That's where the thoughts and all the bombardment that Satan tries to throw your way to get you thinking crazy thoughts so that you can start speaking crazy talk. He wants you to accuse the Most High. Isn't that what they talk about in Job? How the enemy was walking to and fro. And he had a conversation with the Most High. The Most High said, have you considered my servant Job? He's only serving you because you're blessing him. So yeah, you stop blessing him and see what he says against you. He'll curse you then. Watch your mouth in the day of adversity. The proverb says that if you faint in the day of adversity, your strength is small. But the word also says, let the weak say that I am strong. Change that confession around. Stop complaining. I'm not going to even say stop complaining so much. Stop complaining. That's a dangerous place to be. I'm going to go even deeper next week because I really want you to get this so that when you speak words and you release that seed, you're bringing forth a bountiful, positive harvest. Some of you, by your words, you're killing your crop before you even plant the seed. By speaking words that are contrary to what you are believing Yahweh for. If the Most High gave you the vision, he will give you the equipment that you need to bring it forth. Romans chapter 4 talks about Abraham. He called those things that be not as though they were. If you keep telling yourself that you're defeated, then that's exactly the harvest that you're going to reap. If you speak words of failure, you're going to reap failure. But if you stand on Yahweh's word and say that I can do all things through Yeshua, he strengthens me. I got this because Yahweh is on my side. Write you some confessions. Tell yourself, I will not fail because the Most High is with me. I will not be weak because I am strong in Yahweh. I will succeed because the greater one is in me. Talk to yourself. Tell yourself. Frame your world and watch it bloom and blossom. So next week, Most High willing, we're going to deal with murmuring and complaining part 2. We're going to go deeper into the word of Yahweh, and we're going to see how does the Most High respond to murmuring and complaining? What happens when you continually murmur and complain? And how does Yahweh deal with it? Join me next week. You don't want to miss it. Yahweh loves you, and I love you. And I pray that you have a blessed, miracle-filled week. I pray that you are anticipating and expecting nothing but the very best, because every good and perfect gift comes from Yahweh, from the Father of lights. He has ordained nothing but good things for you. Align yourself with his word. Habakkuk says, the Most High told Habakkuk, write the vision, write it out, and tell yourself. If you have to get sticky notes and put them on your mirror when you look at yourself, Put some scriptures on some sticky notes and say them audibly out loud, because faith comes by hearing and hearing by the word of Yah. Do it and watch your life begin to change. Yahweh is good. I see you next week. Be blessed, family. Shalom.